umano sa akin. Ang talagang kung ano nung mga nagawa sa akin, si Mario O'Hara, tinapunan ako nung script ko. Yung sinulat ko script ang tawag mo dito?
Teka, ikaw ba si Mario O'Hara?
Mabait na siya ngayon. Mabait na siya nung nagkakilala ko.
The world has gone bonkers. We now live in George Orwell's 1984. War is peace, ignorance is strength, and crazy is normal. How do you stay sane? Rody Vera has worked in theater and film since childhood. He has written, directed, and performed everywhere from the parliament of the streets to the Philippine stage to the global stage. The only thing he has more of than lovers is awards. Rody, whenever I read about what you're doing, ako yung napapagod eh. Ang dami-dami mong ginagawa. Because on a typical month, you've got one play running, you're acting in another, and then you're writing another, and you're working on a screenplay. Tapos you write songs, you've recorded an album, you even learned to sing bel canto. Have you always overscheduled yourself?
It wasn't always. Actually, hearing
natutulog
you
ka
say
pa ba?
all that, napapagod na ako. Hindi, actually, it wasn't always like this. Siguro mga 7-8 years ago.
Was this around the time you started writing screenplays?
Yes, actually. Kasi sa plays naman, di naman din ganun karaming mga companies. They don't churn out every time. They only have like, siguro, the most in one season are 5. Alangan namang lahat yun sa akin. So, I get only 1 or 2 for a year or so. So, I get to write about 2. The most that I was able in 1 year was 4 sa theater. And then, siguro a couple sa film. So, that's
and then,
about
suddenly, nag-change.
Nag-change. Pag may lumalapit, sinasabi ko na, uy, teka, nagmamadali ka ba? Baka pwede bang next year ganito?
Yeah, but that question could also apply to you. As in, nagmamadali ka ba? Ba't ang dami-dami mong ginagawa?
I think it's the freelancer's fear.
Parang habang may trabaho, gawin mo kasi there are times na
talagang wala.
Oo, wala.
Like sometimes 3 buwan wala akong trabaho. At natakot ako in the past, like from 2003 to 2007, I kept going out sa Japan, sa Singapore, etc.
Yeah,
because
yung
theater
grants,
groups,
workshops, etc.
yeah, and other theater groups get me to act and even to write, etc. And then I said, ayoko na. Nung sinabi ko ayoko na, suddenly, wala. So sabi nila, takot ako, what will I do? So yun yung nangyari. So every time, it's hard to say no because lalo na kung kaibigan mo. But it's also hard to say yes agad kasi nga ang dami na. Parang baka hindi ko na rin kaya or baka I'm stretching myself too thinly.
So, how many hours a day do you sleep?
6 naman.
Kasi
6 to 7.
My theory is, sleep is really the anchor of everything. As if you sleep well, your health will not suffer that much from stress. Yeah.
I'm not that kind of writer who burns the midnight oil.
Okay. So you get
I work in the afternoon. So,
so when was the last time you had a vacation?
Ayan,
Seriously.
Wala, I'm gonna cry.
It's okay. It's okay. You can cry on camera, please.
The last time that I can remember was 2015.
Which is 4 years ago.
Which is 4 years ago. And that's like
and
3 days in Boracay lang.
Since 3 days.
My first time.
Okay. Wait, can we offer you something to drink?
Sige.
What do you want to drink?
Coke.
Yeah, okay. Gamba, please bring his Coke. This is Gamba. You know Gamba is also in the theater.
Of course, I know. He appeared in my play.
Oh! As the bida or the kontrabida?
As the kontrabida.
The reason why you have such a huge output and you've won every award known to man is because you started very young. So, do you remember a point when you were a kid na, teatro ang gusto kong gawin?
You see, when I got to college, ang pinasok ko BS Biology. I wanted to be a doctor.
Okay.
Hindi
okay
totoo.
Bakit? Si Chekhov naman,
Doctor
si Chekhov,
din.
doctor din.
Correct. My first experience in theater was with Father Reuter. So I was in grade 2. He was auditioning for a child kasi Francis of Navarre. So kunwari mga Indian kids kami na tumatakbo, etc. At ako nabarel, napatay, ganun. So that was my first theater. And I
Experience of the
enjoyed
theater.
it, not because I knew what was going on, but because I loved what was going on backstage. Kasi ang ingay, ang daming mga College of the Holy Spirit yan. Tapos
Yung,
yun yung mga-
yung the
ang
process
daming
of
tao.
seeing how the chaos backstage becomes
Yeah.
this
At ang
this
saya-saya.
art on
Oo.
stage. Yeah, oo.
Ang saya-saya namin sa backstage.
Based on this experience, naisip mo na, kung ako magsusulat ng play,
Hindi pa.
Hindi
Later
pa,
pa.
oh. Oh, and
Kasi
then-
third year ako nagsimula. My first play ever was when I was
what
in
made you
third
think,
year.
I think I'll write a play?
It was a play that I saw in UP. It's called Programang Putol-Putol by Regio de la Cruz, who was the of UP Samascom. He wrote absurdist ang kanyang influence. So, wow, ganito pala yung theater, absurd. Sabi ko, akala ko that was what theater was all about. You can do anything you want on
Kawirdohan,
stage,
yeah.
kawirdohan, ganun. So, that was the influence of the very first play I wrote, Recess, about 3 kids who killed their teacher just before
Was
recess.
this because you wanted to kill your teacher? Isa ka bang method writer na yung gusto kong mangyari sa tunay na buhay, yan ang gagawin kong play?
Hindi na. Yung mangyayari dahil wish fulfillment. So, nung pinalabas yun sa San Beda, selected lang yung audience. So, kumbaga, they selected an audience just for that play.
So, do you think that was a good approach? Kasi it's true nga naman that, people might get ideas.
Right? Well, it felt like parang, wow, special ako. Parang
Oo
gano'n.
nga.
Pero at the same time, parang,
But
bakit
then,
hindi?
they could have just banned you all together.
I know.
So, it was, in a way, a tribute to the
And-
quality of the work.
Right. So, mukhang okay naman after that. So, I felt, sige, I want to do this. But not as a career at that time. Hindi pa. Hindi
And you
pa.
still wanted to be a doctor.
To be a doctor. After 2 years in bio, ayun na. Pumasok na ang politics, pumasok na ang street,
Yeah, this was the 80s, the
panahon na
Parliament
yun
of the
na,
Streets.
oo.
I thought it was when you had to dissect a shark na parang that's
I
it.
love dissecting frogs.
Okay.
Kanya lang, I have a hard time. So I like, yung pag dinadissect, siguro mga naka-20 frogs ako.
Not only have you won many awards, you're responsible for the extinction of a species.
Nabibili naman yun nun sa corona eh.
Because of politics, you became more serious about
Yes.
theater as a career.
Partly because of PETA. When I entered PETA as a teen theater participant, doon ako na theater pala has got to say something. I really got into it. And yun yung dahilan kung bakit sabi ko, hindi, put off ko na muna yung bio-med. And
When you say put off, ibig sabihin pwede mo pang balikan.
kasi naisip ko mananalo eh. Mananalo ang taong bayan, di ba? So pag natapos na, pag napatalsik na yung diktador, ganyan, pwede na. Kanya lang, by the time, there. Yun, exactly. So ganun yung nangyari. So after that, parang hindi na ako bumalik. I took up Philippine studies instead, but then hindi rin ako natapos. So
So, did
drop
you have
out.
any formal training in
Theater.
writing for the theater?
Only in PETA. It's not even formal. It's
It's
practical.
more practical,
Oo,
yes.
on the job.
Are there writers that you really look to as examples for writing for the stage?
Filipino
Apart
and
from Regio de la Cruz, who was your inspiration?
my other mentors were Rene Villanueva
Villanueva, of
and
course.
Al Santos. Because si Al Santos was a member of PETA, and so he was one of those who taught the young writers.
So,
Kami yun.
which is the first work that you were really proud of na this is what I want to do for the rest of my life?
Oh my God.
The one na, wow, ang galing ko!
Ay, hindi kasi ako nakakaramdam ng ganun. Sorry Pero yung what I, parang sabi ko, okay, I can consider myself a writer. Was way, 1990s na, Diana Ross. But before that, I've had some great big failures. Ito lagi kong kinikwento to kasi yung tatlong pinakamagagaling na direktor ang talagang kung ano nung mga nagawa sa akin, si Mario O'Hara, tinapunan ako nung script ko. Yung sinulat ko script ang tawag mo dito?
Teka, yung ang bait ni Mario O'Hara.
Mabait na siya ngayon, syempre. Mabait na siya nung nagkakilala
Oo,
kami.
yeah.
Well, hi Mario.
What was so bad about the script na
Because
nabato ka?
I was at that moment, at that time, aktivista talaga. So I wrote a play about a workers union leader na may anak, na yung anak hindi maintindihan ginagawa ng kanyang ama. So it was a short one-act play that Mario was supposed to direct. So I wrote it and then I submitted it, and I think in a way it wasn't really about me. It was his way of wiggling himself out of that project.
And then what were the two
si
others?
Lino, okay mo, yung mga
Wow!
maano sa akin,
No.
grabe.
Well, in fairness, kahit na hindi super positive yung experience, the directors pa rin.
Oo, sabi ko walang
the bragging
iba.
rights na,
may bragging
binato ka
ayun
ng
ang bragging
Kapilino,
rights
bro.
ko actually.
What
I wrote
was-
another play again tungkol sa mga workers, etc. Sabi niya, this play does not deserve to be staged here at the
Aray.
Sulaiman. So parang feeling ko yung time na yun, my God, ano ba? Ginagawa ko, naglalakad ako kasi malapit kami sa Avenida eh. Naglalakad ako sa Avenida, parang thinking, my God, yun yung sinabi sa akin. And then mamaya na-feel myself, naglalakad pabilis, tumatakbo.
No, it's that scene in the movies na naglalakad ka sa avenida tapos yung mga neon lights nagwa-flash ng gano'n.
May
Pero hindi
hila
mo
sa
nakikita. Tapos naglalakad ka.
Exactly. Tapos parang sinasabi ko, what am I running away from? Mediocrity. Ganon talaga ang feeling ko. No,
Wow. And then the
grabe.
other director is?
Si Mike De Leon. I wrote
Okay.
after Sister Stella L. Di mo basta ko Sister Stella L, di ba?
Okay.
I was
And
there.
then,
Sabi niya, we should do a movie. Sige, write a movie. Alam mo ginawa ko. Wala naman akong typewriter noon. Hindi pa uso ang computers. So I wrote it.
Yeah.
Longhand on torn pages of a notebook.
Okay.
It was I think it was a storyline. Tapos noon, finold kong ganon, tapos pumatok ako dun sa bahay niya, lumabas yung mail. Ay, ito po, oh.
Okay.
That was the last time I ever saw him. Sabi niya, hindi ako nagbabasa ng sulat na kinalaykay ng manok.
Alam mo, maswerte ka wala pang Facebook noon.
Kung hindi,
Lagot
may
ka.
screen ka.
Araw-araw may mahabang
Exactly.
may mahabang lecture.
So,
You know how there are a lot of people who have never experienced failure, and I think disadvantage yon because they don't know how to deal with disappointment and failure in general. And I think na failure is really useful.
That's
diba?
true.
Right after your work gets rejected, you want to
Right.
jump off a cliff.
Oh.
Pero
And in fact, because of that, I stopped writing for about 2 years, 3 years.
oh wow, okay.
Kaya nung sinulat ko yung Diana Ross, parang feeling ko, sige, baka pwede na ako maging writer. Buti na lang, I can sing. So, during that time na hindi ako sumasali ako ng mga singing group, etc. So, we kept singing in rallies and in concerts for ganon. So,
Ang galing. So, in a way, this series of failures led to the Rody that we know now, the playwright whose work always hits the spot. Oh.
but I don't feel any special. You know what I'm saying?
But-
I think that's what grounds me. Parang feeling ko, pag nasulat ko na, in fact, sinasabi, uy, nakasali sa ganito yung ay, ang galing. Kaya lang, ang layo-layo na, natapos ko na yun 2 years ago or a year ago.
Are you the type of person na nakalimutan mo na yung sinulat mo? So, when you read it again, parang ako ba nagsulat nito?
Hindi, nangyayari sa akin yan.
Yeah.
Nangyayari sa akin yan.
In my case, parang sometimes I look at stuff I wrote years ago na, wow, ang galing ko. And then another time I read it, oh my God, this is garbage.
May
Diba
ganun
yung-
din.
Nag-iiba talaga yung
May ganun din.
So what's your writing process like? Kasi ngayon, you're in Rack of Ages, which has been running forever. So, with Rack of Ages, there's performances, there's rehearsals. When do you actually sit down and write your plays? So, do you set aside time during the day? Sinusulat mo pa rin ba sa torn sheets of notebook paper? Or
Sa computer. So I have my schedule. Regular schedule. Usually yan after lunch. Pag walang meetings, pag walang So, mga 4, 5, 6 hours. And then after
day,
that,
okay.
if I still feel something, sige, okay lang.
I guess, hindi ka pala rewrite, no?
Not when it's for theater and for film. Kasi parang when you write for theater and for film, the end is always performance. I do rewrites in the course of production, in the course of the whole thing. Pero once it's canned, or once it has been performed, released,
You can
parang
let it go.
yun na yung final Parang kumbaga, here comes another project. Kasi I'm a commissioned mercenary writer ako eh. It's very, very few times lang ako na yung nanggaling talaga sa akin. Tapos ako talaga yung
Bakit ganyan din naman si Lolo Shakespeare di ba?
Actually.
Lahat niyang sinulat niya is basically as a job.
Yeah.
So that it can be performed, so that he can make a living.
Which is, my process of writing would be, I will own this project as a writer. Rather than pero meron din akong konti, but very, very rare na kukunin.
And recently, you published a book.
Yes.
For Ateneo University
For Ateneo.
Press.
Dalawang works. Yung isa, yung Indigo Child, which is a play, a one-act play, and the unfilmed project it fell through of Lakambini. It's
The
the story of Gregoria de Jesus.
Bakit unfilmed? Ano nangyari dyan?
Nagkulang ng budget. We were like 1/3 into the shoot. Na-realize na this is not going to cost the same amount that we imagined it would.
But napaka-interesting na character ni Gregoria de Jesus. She's the widow of Andres Bonifacio. Yes.
Yes, and the
Julio Nakpil.
Nakpil,
Yes.
na kung saan ang dami niyang anak, 12. And then, of course, what we got to interview are the grandchildren na matatanda na rin. Nakikita pa nila nun, si Lola. Pero nakatira na nun sa Barbosa. That's where we started. We started researching, and then she left this short biography pero nawala yung kanyang diary. So we had to piece together the story of everything that happened after Bonifacio died. What struck me was that her inability to cope with peacetime, with the American times, and the reality na hindi niya nahanap yung kanyang asawa.
Yeah, because di ba nakakabaliw na isipin na Andres Bonifacio is so significant in our history, and hindi natin alam kung saan siya inilibing.
Right. O kung nilibing man siya. Kasi she spent one whole month in that mount area. She came out, wala nang katinuan yung isip. Then that's when Julio Nakpil offered, I'll take care of you. And he did. He loved her, but then she seemed to have, iba na yung naging kanya, hindi siya makamove.
Parang she was living in the revolutionary period.
Yun.
Did she ever recover?
Parang hindi daw eh.
Actually, just the writing of your screenplay,
It's already a
documentary na yan
story. It's already-
Literally searching for Gregoria de Jesus.
Right. Ang rich nung kwento na yun. And I think after 2 or 3 years of research, that's when I started to write the film. I felt ang significant nito, kanya lang, ayun nga.
And then, for film naman, I saw Shake, Rattle, and Roll na ikaw ang nagsulat.
I read your review.
Yes, dahil hindi ako afraid. Tapos nanonood kami na parang, sana maghubad na lang yung soldiers.
Naglagay ako na eksena doon na dapat nagubad sila. But that was I think, my first collaboration with Chito Ronyo.
And
We
after
did
that,
Badil.
it improved radically. After I watched Badil, your movie with Chito
Chito.
Ronyo, feeling ko expert talaga ako on elections. As in, tuwing may election, I tell people, kailangan manood kayo ng Badil.
Yun na
Kasi
nga
doon nyo lang may intindihan why elections will not change anything.
Exactly.
Paano mo naman ni-research yun? Did you have to go to Samar?
No, that was Chito. Chito was telling me all these things that he observed in Samar. And I just put them all together in one story. The same with Signal Rock.
Signal Rock, which I enjoyed very much. Kasi yung first scene pa lang, yung they're climbing up
This rock.
Signal Rock na meron silang mga naka-rubber band na tinidor dun sa cellphone.
Yun yung antena.
Naghahanap ng lecheng signal. And then talagang in the theater we were watching, walang iya talaga yung mga telco na yan. Walang kwenta.
Yung Signal Rock, talagang pumunta ako doon. Sabi niya, you have to go, sabi ni Chito. He toured me in the island, so I got to have a whole idea of the geography. So alam ko kung saan mangyayari yung ito, saan mangyayari ito, saan mangyayari yun. Nagkakaisa kami. Sa Badil, ang mas na figure out ko yung takbo nung gabi. that whole night before the election.
Na for a time parang nakakatakot makarinig ng motorsiklo after watching Badil.
Grabe, di ba?
And then you've also worked with Lav Diaz on Norte,
Yes.
which even before Lav Diaz got involved, you were in on it na because it was an adaptation of Crime and Punishment,
Yes.
right? No, but it was you who thought of bringing Crime and Punishment into the story.
Oo. Kasi
Which
it was a
involved mga
prison
paparol,
story.
diba?
Eh.
Yeah,
Oo,
oo.
prison story siya. Sabi ko, I think it should be Crime and Punishment and the story of Job. So yung dalawang yon ipagano natin. Tingnan natin kung anong mangyayari.
And then Lav Diaz came in and from what I know, usually he writes his own work,
Right.
diba? So, what's it like working with a director na papalitan yung mga sinulat mo?
Ano ko, I don't stand in the way. Hindi ako
So, hindi ka yung proprietary na,
Ay,
my word is sacred.
No. I know my place as a screenwriter in the whole film kingdom. Lalo na kung utur-utur. Di ba? I don't get in the way. I mean, just meron lang isang part na gusto niyang patayin si Joaquin,
Okay.
yung the guy who was in prison. Sabi
Yes.
ko, wag mo siyang patayin kasi para sa akin, yun ang yin at yang. So, ibig sabihin, pag pinatay mo, mawawala yung balance ng yin at yang.
Right.
If that guy who is out feeling guilty will live, then this guy inside but is free should live
Yeah, it's the contrast.
Yung
diba?
contrast na kailangan pareho sila. So, ginawa niyang vague. Pero para sa akin, yun yung parehong puwersa yun. Hindi pwedeng one over the other.
On stage naman, I saw your adaptation of A Girl is a Half-Formed Thing
Yeah.
na napaka-intense nun, ha?
Grabe yun.
Bakit nyo naman naisip na gawin yon?
Hindi ko idea yun.
Kasi it's a one-woman play na
Yes.
tinanong ko nga si Sky, ilang pounds ang nawawala
Mashed.
sa'yo after every performance.
For Sky, that was a major feat. Even for Missy, if you've seen Missy, at saka si Opa, tatlo sila nag-alternate. Grabe yung binuhos nila doon. In fact, it wasn't my idea. It came from Jose. Ang tagal ko actually naghihintay lang naman ako. Sana makagawa ako ng play for Dulaang UP. And then she invited me. Naghahanap siya ng anything for children. Sabi ko, maganda yung short story ni Hilda, yung Magic Circle. So that was our first.
Okay.
After that, I proposed a project for her. That was the Janae Prisoner of Love.
Prisoner
thing.
of Love, yes.
And then after that, siya naman. Hanggang yun, napili niya. Sabi ko, bakit ito? Hindi ko maintindihan yung novel. Kasi it's a novel
Yes, I have also tried to read it. It's not easy, ha?
It's not easy. And actually, the script is really an edited version
Of the novel,
of the
yes.
novel.
Yes. Because the novel is all told by one girl speaking in different voices.
Yeah. So, ganun din yung play. Actually, yung playwright, ang ginawa niya lang, kinuha niya yung pinaka-salient, tapos inano niya para maging dramatic one. And I didn't have any leeway for expanding it or adapting. In fact, ayaw nga nilang gawing Pilipino So, it had to be...
the story is set in Ireland, pero
Yes.
I realized na it's very similar.
Yes, because Catholic.
Yung super Catholic background in
Right.
Ireland with the Philippines.
Yes. Kaya hindi na kasi ang ginawa na lang namin, tanggalin na lang natin yung mga Irish references. Pag tinanggal mo 'yon, parang tapos tinagalog mo, parang Pilipinas na.
Yeah, kasi simbahan tsaka inuman.
Right.
Oh.
Yun na yun.
So yun. I had always known you as a playwright and as a screenwriter. Tapos nakita kita playing Bobby Gonzales. Parang, oh my God, he's singing and dancing.
Sa stage show.
Mukhang fun yung your performance as Bobby Gonzales na I'm sure many people in the audience do not know who he was. But when I was growing up, di ba siya yung singer and dancer.
Right.
Kasama ni Sylvia Latore.
And what's uncanny, when I first heard his voice, he really sounded like me. Kaya sabi ko kay Chris, kasi hindi ako dapat kasama dyan sa stage show. Ko, Chris, akin yan. Kaboses ko siya, tingnan mo, pakinggan mo, ganyan. Buti na lang, nag-back out yung isang actor, so, yung role. So, binigay na sa akin.
Ang dami-dami mo ginagawa. What else do you want to do na hindi mo pa nagagawa? Costume design?
Hindi ko magawa-gawa dahil wala na akong
Composition?
oras. Mag-coloring. Ang dami kong coloring book sa bahay. Bumili ako ng coke.
Yun dapat yung stress management mo.
Yun dapat. Kanya lang, hindi ko magawa-gawa ngayon.
Tuloy, yung stress management mo, yun na rin yung naging stress na, oh my God, ang dami-daming coloring book na hindi ko pa nagagawa.
Exactly.
Tapos, you're on social media, di ba? Social media is where a lot of the away on a daily basis happens.
Oh.
How do you keep from getting depressed? No, it's a very toxic environment.
I put them on hide mode.
Okay.
Yun lang. Kung toxic para sa akin, i-hide ko na lang. For the past 2-3 years, I don't post my own views. Instead, I post links of articles or news items that I feel strongly about. Ayokong makipag-away na kasi useless eh.
Yeah, at saka research shows na you cannot change people's minds.
Yes.
Kahit maglabas ka ng maraming statistics, maniniwala pa rin sila sa gusto nilang paniwalaan.
Gusto nilang paniwalaan.
So much of writing is about looking for the truth. Tapos, and then you hear from the Oxford dictionaries na ang word of the year a couple of years ago was post-truth, na we're already in the post-truth era na laos na ba ang truth? So ano nang trabaho ng mga manunulat?
Well, actually, post-truth is actually a softer word of saying
Lies.
it's lies. Kasi how can truth die if lies won't die along with that, diba? They both have to die together, right? So
And you know how they say na history repeats itself. And all I can think is, ang bilis naman ng history repeating itself.
No.
Oo, yung
parang iba pang henerasyon
ano bang nangyayari sa mundo?
Mabaliktad.
No, seriously. The same people that we were protesting against in the
topple.
80s.
Yes. Are
Why
back.
are they here?
Ko rin alam eh. I think it's because one sad thing that might have happened is because there's this disillusionment about the fulfillment of the promises of
Yeah.
democracy.
Yes.
Because apparently it has not delivered.
Are we just going through a rough patch? Will things get better? Or it won't get better, pero we will find a way to navigate all this?
It will get better but not in a short time. I think it will take years. But then, ang kaaway natin ay climate catastrophe.
That's it. So
Kasi
habang
walang pakialam ang climate.
Exactly yung
Ano pang pinaniniwalaan ninyo?
Kung sinong pinaniniwalaan ninyo.
Patay kayong lahat. Kasi iinit na. And that's the problem. Kasi maski dito sa Pilipinas, maski magtanong ka sa mga progressive people, they're all wrapped up in this, which is valid.
Yeah,
But then, there's another thing going on that will really just wipe out because it doesn't discriminate between DDS and Dilawan.
And meanwhile, there's climate catastrophe at you finally decide, magbabakasyon na ako, saan ka makakapunta? Masyado nung mainit. Para kang niluluto sa beach. Ganon.
No. Maraming aircon sa Singapore.
Okay, so, last question. Somebody wants to write a play. Where do they start? As in, do you start with something you know o talagang start with something na wala kang kaalam-alam and then, parang find out all about it?
Sabi nga ni Katsuo Ishiguro, di ba? You don't have to start with what you know. Every time pumunta sila sa writer's block, thinking, attend these workshops, etc., you just write it. Write what you think is important to you.
Not necessarily what you know.
What you know.
But what is important to you.
Right. Kasi even if you know it too well, it's the insight of what you know that matters. You may know something about your childhood, but your insight about that childhood might not very well be, di ba, tama?
Oh, that's true.
Minsan masyado kang angry, minsan masyado kang ganyan. Parang wala kang gano'n, di ba? So I guess it's more about what is important to you, what you feel you needed to say. Then the material will open itself up.
So, nakasulot ka na therapy mo pa sarili.
Pwede.
You got it. Yeah.